Now, let me just shift very quickly. I'm in California, so I have to, right? Ecological considerations. In San Francisco, this is what we talk about at lunch when we're eating our organic kale salad and thinking about where we're going to recycle every part of our lunch to. They got 10 different bins in different colors. So ecological considerations is obviously the big elephant here on the stage because it's hard to swallow, no pun intended here, a disposable endoscope from the standpoint of the impact on ecology, on our environment. And you can see here, I was down at Cedars-Sinai with Simon Lowe and David Carlock, and we're disposing of one of the duodenoscopes we just used, throwing it in the trash bin, and you sort of get a queasy feeling when you do that. But here's what you need to consider. That's what you see. It's what you don't see that actually may have a greater impact on our environment. It's the reusable scope disposables. So the PPE that's required, we already see this with COVID, right? The amount of PPE that we're going through now is just mind-boggling. But it's just as mind-boggling when we reprocess our endoscopes. And you can see all these containers that are required for the reprocessing. But here's the part that I am most concerned about, and it's the harsh chemicals. And one of the reasons why now I'm paying far more attention to the cleaning of our scopes, the pre-cleaning particularly, these harsh chemicals and bioaccumulative toxins get flushed down into our water supply, and it will come back to haunt us. And so you can see here that if you look at what you don't see in your daily practice, the footprint that you're leaving using reprocessable scopes is very significant, and I would argue is really more significant. We have companies out there, just surf the internet, you'll see them, that recycle medical plastics, which brings me to another topic that I think is so important that we physicians, all healthcare givers really, but in particular, the endoscopists need to pay more attention to, and that is what is happening with medical waste. We are working in our endoscopy suites like surgeons in the ORs. We contribute a whole 1/3 of the medical waste. And this medical waste, much of it gets incinerated. That, of course, eliminates various toxins into the air. And then it gets put in these landfills. These landfills are not totally contained, and they leak out, the contents leak out into our earth and into our water. So all of this will come back to haunt us. So we really need to pay more attention to the recycling of medical waste. There's really been virtually no attention paid to that. So if anything, this will stimulate or trigger greater focus on what's happening to our medical waste. And there are companies that will recycle your waste. They will pick it up for you. You put your thrown away disposable scope into one of these bins, and they'll pick it up for you, and they will disinfect it, and then they will recycle it, and you'll get your new scope made from recycled materials. That's the way it needs to be. That's the way it must be. And we must also lean very heavily on industry to work with us in partnership to make this happen.